Okay. Um, Here's what I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm going to. I haven't put it into words yet, so this is this is new. But this is how I have to work. I think like I have to talk to myself to figure out what it is that I'm gonna do, and get myself to do it. What I think I'm gonna do is do a little like campaign, like series on help me write an opera. And it's going to be like podcasts, it's going to be like little videos that I make, maybe essays that I write, um, pictures of things that inspire me while I am trying to do the next big thing, which is write another opera. I wrote an opera and it's getting performed in September, which still kind of blows my mind. And I am kind of on the hook for my second opera. I wrote a grant for it to get funding to help me write it. So I don't know yet if I'm going to get that grant. So I don't know if I'm going to. Oh my gosh. See, here's the thing. I was about to say, I don't know if I'm going to write the opera, but here's the thing. I think that, grant or no, I'm on the hook for this opera. I can tell by how I feel and like the resonance in the room when I say that, that's true. Yeah, grant or no, I'm going to write this opera. And I'm going to bring you along. Like, help me write an opera. That's going to be the name of everything that I send out into the world. Videos, essays, pictures, my thoughts on things. Help me write an opera. Help me write an opera. HMWA. I was thinking about this. The acronym is going to be pronounced. Well, there are lots of ways to pronounce this acronym. No, actually, there's one way to pronounce the acronym, and there are lots of ways to inflect this acronym. The acronym is wow. So we can inflect it in this way. Wow. Or we can inflect it wow. We can say wow. Like, I'm not saying help me have ideas about the notes that I should write. I am saying be the people who listen while I work my shit out as I try to write this opera, because my creative practice requires that I talk about my creative practice at people a lot. It works well for me. So, wow, that's what we're going to do. Okay. At the risk of regretting this deeply, I have a few more things to add. I would regret it deeply just because it's kind of a sick day for me. I am staying home from work. I'm in bed. My hair desperately needs a wash. I don't look great. But here's the thing, two things that I want to add. I'm going to be super vulnerable. Like, I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I am so far behind in my understanding of technology, and I really need to catch up. I'm using really basic tools, and I'm going to be in bed a lot because I am in bed a lot because I am I have a chronic illness, and I am kind of a low energy person, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I want to part of what we're doing as artists is offering our lives to our art and offering our art to the world. So, transitive property, we're offering our lives to the world. So, cut out that hard, scary step in between of making art out of it, and just like let people into your bedroom on your sick day or whatever, I guess. Okay, so that I'm going to be vulnerable. And then the last thing is, I really don't want to just talk at you about the thing that I'm doing. I mean, maybe that's not obvious, because um, I do want to talk at you, but I want you to talk back. I do. I have a dear friend who is a fellow late diagnosed autistic, and we've been engaging in this dialogue for sort of ongoing dialogue for, I don't know, like a month now. And one of the aspects of this dialogue has been a very nerdy and neurodivergent self-awareness of the nature of our dialogue. Recently, we realized that this conversation we're having is really different from most of the other conversations that we have. And we realize that it's because our conversation is like parallel play with ideas. Like we're sitting next to each other, playing with ideas in each other's space. And yes, we are talking to each other, but when we're talking to each other, it's not like, I'm having to ask a lot of questions. Like what's happening is she's throwing something out at me and I'm like, oh my God, yeah. And that reminds me of this thing that I want to tell you. And I throw something back at her. And it's just this constant, oh yeah. And that reminds me of this. And like, we don't ask each other a lot of questions, but that's the thing. Like, I don't want to have to ask you questions. I want you to see what I'm making over here and what I'm doing and what I'm throwing out and be excited about it and engage with it and have it remind you of, oh, that reminds me of this thing and I want to tell you about it, like, and like make a little community of crazy people making weird stuff or cool stuff or whatever. It doesn't need to be, we're not making value judgments about the thing that we're making. We're practicing making things from the depths of us because that's our world making practice. It's time for us to make a new world. So let's get started working on bringing out something deep inside you into the world and making the world better. Okay, the end. Goodbye. I love you.